Yesterday, you know who and the Justice Department said they will obey a court ruling that temporarily freezes the $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund. Now, here was the reaction on both sides of the aisle. Take a look.
I'm not sure that a $1 billion+ slush fund is the answer. I think that money could be better spent in bringing down the cost of everything and making life more affordable.
Let's call this what it is. This is corruption in broad daylight.
The tip of the iceberg of the corruption that's gone on in this administration is this weaponization fund.
You don't fix a corrupt slush fund by relying on the word of the most untrustworthy president we have ever had. You ban it. The slush fund is rotten to the core. Democrats will make sure Republicans vote on it no matter what.
So no one trusts what's happening. No one is sure they can trust anything they're hearing. So my question is, why do you think you know who is agreeing with the court's decision? You know, because he'll always say, I'm going against him. But suddenly this was too easy. This is like, okay.
Well, I think it is because 35 former federal judges, including Judge Shira Scheindlin from the Southern District of New York, who is a legendary jurist, filed a lawsuit against President Trump. And in this lawsuit, they basically asked the court in Florida to stop the slush fund, to stop the settlement, and to also stop the part of the settlement that gave him total cover for any tax shenanigans he or his family may have done in past years.
Right.
And this judge issued a ruling, which is one of the most extraordinary rulings I have ever read. She specifically says, indeed, the corruption of the judicial process is exactly what happened here.
Explain.
The parties used that lawsuit and the court as cover for a settlement that they never brought in front of the judge. Generally, when there's a settlement in a court case, you go to the judge and say, the parties have reached an agreement, Your Honor. Here is a copy of the settlement. No federal judge would ever have approved a $1.8 billion slush fund plus IRS protection. No one would ever have approved that. And so rather than bringing this settlement in front of this judge, they voluntarily dismissed the case without the judge reviewing it. And I think what could possibly happen here, it is so rare for a judge to say that you filed a federal frivolous lawsuit. People lose their law licenses over this. People get found guilty of fraud. Criminal actions can come of this. And I think these lawyers said to this president, stand down.
I think the reason he's obeying is because he's got no damn choice. This is clearly unconstitutional. This is not one of those things where it's like up for interpretation and this court can interpret it this way, this court can interpret it that way. The Constitution under Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7, known as the Appropriations Clause, clearly says no money can be drawn from the U.S. Treasury unless it is first authorized by an act of Congress. And the Republicans have finally grown a spine in Congress and said to him, we are not approving this. And why are they not approving this? Because we are 5 months from an election. And they're going out and, Trump says he doesn't care about the midterms, where the people running do care, and they're sitting in Congress, and they're going out and doing town halls and getting earfuls from constituents who are pissed as hell that at a time they can't afford groceries, they can't afford gas, they can't take their kids on summer vacations. Trump is running around talking about billions of dollars for ballrooms and arches and $1 billion+ slush fund for insurrectionists. And they have said, hell no, we're not going to take it. And Republicans have had no choice but to stand up, which in turn has given Trump no choice but to follow the Constitution.
I actually don't think that the Republicans grew a spine overnight.
Maybe not a full spine, just like the beginnings.
I don't even think the beginnings of spine. I really think that this court and this group of judges have been the only sort of checks and balances on this aberrant administration. They're supposed to be.
Trump has never cared about judges. There was a judge that clearly told him to turn the plane back when he was sending Venezuelans to to El Salvador, and Trump said, really?
There were a number of
time.
Republicans who actually
cares
came
this
out and
time.
said, if not for the courts, that they would legislatively act to try to roll this back.
Right.
This is so deeply unpopular. And
But they
listen,
didn't even have the votes for that.
Wait, but go
well, they
ahead.
potentially,
Go ahead.
Republicans do. They have the majority if they get them, and then you get Democrats to
Right.
vote with them. What I've been wondering is who cooked this up? Because this gets back to the fact that in the second Trump term, I feel like you've got a lot of really internet-brained advisors, kids who are, and I say kids, adults, by the way, who maybe spend a lot of their time online. They think that the entire country sees the things the way that 30% of this country sees it. And they're like, this is going to be really popular. People definitely want to bail out January 6th insurrectionists. The people are going to cheer for this. Turns out they're not just out of step with the majority of the country, they're out of step with the majority of the Republican Party. So this is something that it was such a harebrained idea. Everyone from John Thune to Joe Rogan was like, this is a bad idea. This ain't it.
Don't you think it was the president's idea?
Probably, or an advisor came to him and was like, "Oh, it's clever. It's 1776."
But Alyssa, do you think they would have?
But that's actually what the amount was.
This is the president's idea.
But just to lighten the mood real quick, our dear president did have this tweet, which offered me some calm in this moment where a lot of us are stressed out. Just sit back and relax. It will all work out well in the end. It always does. And I was like, oh, okay, now I feel better.
That was yesterday.
Well,
Yeah.
I was laughing just at the fact that we actually had to wait until we heard that the president was going to abide by something the courts did. In what universe do we live that we all sit down and say, what's he going to do? It used to be that when a court decided, a judge decided, everyone just does what they're supposed to, except him.
Except him.
Yeah.
I really think he just didn't have a choice in this one. It was just so...
Usually that revs him up.
It was so blatant and egregious. He just didn't have a choice.
Well, let's see what happens with the second part of this, because I think that's another very important thing to keep an eye on. Because really what it came down to was him saying, I'm suing you, and him saying to himself again, well, I'm going to take you to court.
Yes.
It was very circular.
And then we're going to, I'm suing the IRS. Well, I'm not giving you any money. Well, yes, you are.
Yes.
Well,
And
I just
that's
won.
what the judges. That's what the judges say. There aren't adverse parties.
Yes.
You're suing your own government, and your own government is giving you
Which means
money.
you're gonna
And
like
guess
the
what?
settlement
It's
regardless.
corrupt and it's illegal.
And Congress is like, fine, we're
and
over
you didn't
here.
tell us.
And because you can't do that in terms of putting your hand in the till and pulling money in your pocket, the second half of this is going to be very interesting, because if you're not allowed to do that, then you have no case. You have no case.
No.
You have no case, and you did a
This judge
frivolous
has
lawsuit.
already
and
decided
she's
that this
getting
was fraud on the court. It is
Well.
one of the most rare remedies.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the
Ever
money.
given.
It was
No.
the fact that
It's
he
the
and his entire family were going
It
to
was
be
the
exempt from audit.
it was the IRS
for
piece.
Well,
here in eternity.
Yes,
I mean,
no one gave anybody permission to grant that.
Yeah.
And that's
I think I'm gonna sue myself. Let
It
me
was
see if
so
I like the settlement.
outrageous.